I'm Jessica Killen. In the Army, I learned
the world is stained, and it needs this cleansing. It needs to be washed away. It needs to be burned.
Hey everybody, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Straight Jacket White Rabbit. As always, my name's Adam, and I'm going to be your host. Just want to start off by saying I know we're kind of light on people in here right now. I was unaware that my brother was going to be doing a live on the entire mud flood thing that was going on right now out in the east, but regardless, we're going to do this. Hopefully everyone can catch it after my brother's show. What I saw so far, I only got to catch like the first 38 minutes or so, but good job, bro. Awesome topic. Love it. Today, you guys, it's real simple. We're going to be talking about secret societies and the road to damnation they are leading our world down, as well as just flat out taking control. Now, a lot of people think secret societies, they think tons of different things. Anything from Skull and Bones to the Illuminati, you guys, from the Bohemian Club to the Hellfire Club. And we're going to discuss a lot of these, but what we're going to talk about mainly is the topic that links them all together, you guys. These secret societies are not working by themselves. No. The majority of these secret societies are working together with a common goal. Now, while a lot of people think, well, why would these secret societies who compete for members and blah 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 blah, why would they be all working together? Well, it's really very simple. There are a powerful cabal of people who run our world, you guys. I'm not sure how to shade it other than that. These people are dark, they're evil, and they are very, very much sinister. We're talking about things from hedonism to cannibalism to just in general debauchery of all sorts. And they're leading the way. They make the rules. They're the powerful, they're the elite, and they always have been. This is coming from before the 1400s, easily. Some of these, we'll call them social clubs, as they're called in many references. I never understood the social club thing, okay? When you think social club, that sounds like nice and, oh, it's a social club. That sounds like a bunch of friends getting together for a beer. That's not what these are, you guys. And we're going to kind of see that as we go through some of the more sinister secret societies today. Number one, you guys, I just want to get out there and say that I think most secret societies have an evil tinge to them, because what grows in darkness, you guys, is destroyed by light. These clubs, these, whatever you want to call them, the secret society, the elites, they have specific aims that they're going for. They have specific tasks and goals, and they're not all the same. But they all arrive at the same end goal, okay? And when I say the same ends, I mean the destruction of our society, both morally and, actually, physically. They want chaos. They want blood. They want sin. Okay? And not to come from too religious of a point, but they want a devil-led society. They want a society that is headed in the path of damnation. And it's plain and simple to see this when you see what they're all about. So we're going to start off, and we're going to tell you about some of these secret societies and what their true intent of each society is, because they all have specific roles to play. Starting off, we're going to talk about some of the secret societies in elite universities around the world, you guys. One of the things we're going to talk about right now is the Skull and Bones Society, you guys. Skull and Bones, for those of you who don't know, have its origins based in Yale, in Connecticut. Now, it was originally named the Hooligan Club, I believe it was called. They adopted the Skull and Bones emblem with the number 322 written across the skull's forehead. Now, this club, you guys, specific task is to recruit the elite, and I mean elite not just in popularity standpoints, but from a lineage standpoint. These clubs recruit people whose fathers' were in line with their views. It's a lot of lineage, there's a lot of dark lineage. But these clubs specifically in these elite universities, you guys, they're going after one thing. They're going after leverage. These are what I like to call the beginning of secret societies, okay? They're not the end-all be-all. These are the clubs where they get the dirt on their members to keep them in line, to keep them blackmailed outright, to do the things that they want them to do in the future, in these other organizations that they move on to. Now, Skull and Bones has an interesting one, and the reason I picked it out for the elite universities, you guys, is because not only does it have its origin stories in the creation of the CIA, but a lot of its members are actually poached for the CIA specifically because they're Skull and Bones members. Now, the Skull and Bones have an interesting tradition where they set members aside in pairs throughout the time they're in the organization, and they force them to tell their deepest personal secrets, their worst habits, their darkest desires. specifically things that would incriminate somebody. Now, people say that this is a trust building exercise. You can build trust a lot of ways, okay? You don't build trust by asking people things like, give me some dirt on you. You know what I mean? Like, what's the darkest thing you've ever done? You know, what's your darkest fantasy? These are not things that you tell people to build trust. These are things you tell people to get them, hey, you got another subscriber, awesome. Now, these are things you tell people so that you can hold it against them later. These people have rituals based on getting information to use later for blackmail. They're not mostly used in these organizations. They're used once you're promoted to the next level of secret societies. Okay, now the Skull and Bones is dark enough. They've got all kinds of speculation of things that they've done in their past. I'm going to show you a quick few pictures here. These are some of the people who are prominently in one of the first open photos of the Skull and Bones Society. This is their mascot and their founders. Now, what I want to tell you about this building right here is this is their main building on the campus, you guys. And this is where they do a lot of their initiation rituals, which also include things of the nature, suspectedly, of theft, blood rite rituals, things that are just shy of torture, to be honest. And they gather up these kids, these impressionable college students of, we'll say, top-tier lineage. Now, some people have been picked because of academic reasons. Maybe they were the top tier of a group of, let's say, scientists or people in certain specific fields of academia. And I'm not saying they're all picked because of their lineage, but a vast majority of them are, you guys. They are legacies. They're getting in. People know that they're getting in. They're being initiated into these clubs strictly based on who their parents or their parents' parents were. Now, these are the first types of ones, okay? These are the first types of secret societies. Now, the next ones that I want to talk to you guys about are like the Hellfire Club, okay? They're not much further above organizations like the Skull and Bones. The Hellfire Club, although older than Skull and Bones, is really not much different. It was used as a breeding ground for behaviors that were deemed and are still deemed to be inappropriate. You guys, we're talking things like hedonism, orgies. They had people who would go cheat on their spouses there on regular occasions. Talks of torture, possibly cannibalism, depending on which stories of the Hellfire Club you read. And the Hellfire Club had a lot of things, you guys, that was... I mean, there's the blending of the pop culture with Aleister Crowley in it, things of this nature. But what I want to talk about the Hellfire Club, you guys, let's see if I can pull it up here. These are the Hellfire Caves, you guys. Now, the Hellfire Club mainly operates out of the UK. There are said to be Hellfire Clubs that have sprung up around different parts of the United States as well. I do not know of any in particular to give you information on, but this is once again a popularized theory that they have now spread to the United States as well. This is a picture of the Hellfire Caves where the main rituals and main ceremonies took place. Okay, and there's a lot of weird things in here. Okay, we have Lord Sandwich's Circle. We've got the Whitehead's Cave, which is the robing room. The Steward's Cave, it's the tool store, things like that. Then you have things named like the Children's Cave. Well, the Hellfire Club was for adults only, so why would they have a part named the Children's Cave? Kind of creepy, but okay. You go further down, you have the Banquet Hall, or the Heart of Ardelane, I believe it is. You have the skull-shaped midsection right there, the Judgment Pass, the Triangle, the Wine Store, the Miner's Cave, or also known as the Nun's Cave, the River Styx, which is also called the Cursing Well, and then you have the Inner Temple at the end. Okay, all these rooms, hallways, corridors, they all have very particular uses, which is one of the reasons why it's so crazy that they name some of these things the names they gave them. I mean, like I said, the Children's Cave. Well, considering all the Hellfire members were supposedly adults, this wasn't where they were letting their kids stay so that they could have a babysitter for them while they went to their Hellfire meeting. So you can only imagine what went on in these. Given the Hellfire Club's behaviors and what they believed in, which they outright openly admitted that they believed in hedonism and things like that, they wanted to live life by the motto of do what you want, do what you will. And that's a scary prospect, you guys. Most of you probably don't know this, but the Satanic Church runs the exact same way. Okay, that's their belief system. If it feels good, do it. Doesn't matter if it's murder, doesn't matter if it's sex with a friggin' inappropriately aged person, it doesn't matter if it's cannibalism. Satanists believe that if it feels good, do it. That's in their actual Bible, the Satanic Bible. Now, the Hellfire Club, you guys, had a specific reason for it. It was to create a comfortable atmosphere for their members to do very, very corrupt things that were looked upon from normal society as just creepy and wrong. Like I said, everything from adultery to underage fornications to possibly cannibalism, blood drinking, bloodletting, things of this nature. So, not a very bright outlook. These types of things are the depictions of their ritualistic parties where they wore masks of animals and satanic faces, almost demonic looking. You guys, and people bypass this type of stuff all the time. Oh, they were just a club of old men that got drunk in a cave. No, they weren't. They had a goal, which was to lead their members down a road that they could not recover from spiritually. It was to lead you down a dark path to get you to a point where they own your butt. And they could control what you do, because by controlling the elites, they can control what the elites do, say, and enact as policies, procedures, and laws. This is all tying into where we are in our modern world, you guys. This is why you have things like Epstein Island and Pizzagate and all these other things. These people are responsible for this, okay? Look at the next one we're going to talk about, Bohemian Club. Do you guys know what the Bohemian Club is? Okay, the Bohemian Club was founded in 1872 by a group of journalists, artists, and musicians looking to foster a creative community named the Bohemian. That's the cover story. They weren't regular they're artists and, they were just artists and journalists and musicians looking for a good time. No, they were elite influencing people who had hold of other people, who created this club for the specific intentions of practicing dark rituals and talking about world agendas. The Bohemian Grove is a step up from these other groups because of their power and influence. Now, the people who go to these types of events, the Bohemian Club events, you guys, are everything from presidents to executive directors of the CIA to powerful foreign accomplices and businessmen, banking magnates. I mean, these are the top tier of people who run things in our society. There were actually leaked conversations at one of the meetings before the dropping of the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, you guys, where they openly discussed what the plan should be for the use of our nuclear weapon. Our newly obtained nuclear weapon. And now this is a big if, I wasn't there, but if the leaks were true, they were talking about not stopping after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but dropping nukes on many other parts of the world immediately after. However, for whatever reason, this did not come to fruition. But these are dark people, okay? They dress in satanic robes. They perform almost pagan-like rituals. I want to say pagan-like, but quite frankly, that's an insult to pagans. They're dark, dark rituals these people perform. They're performing fake sacrifices. And I say fake with the quotations in the air because there's no way any part of me believes that they're not actually doing these things. They are not actually responsible for these things. And if you are people of my ilk, I tend to believe that these are the people who are responsible for things like the pedophile rings, Pizzagate, things like this. This is where they make their plans on how to spread their reach further throughout our society, how to drag the people on the edge of good and evil towards the dark side. They enact laws. Oh, yeah, get as many abortions as you want, all the way up until birth or even after birth. Heck, we don't care. They do a lot of things like this, and it's just that type of attitude that these people have, that they want to spread this throughout the world. They're literally spreading evil, you guys. This is not a maybe. This is not a I think. Look at their core values of all of these secret societies, and it is absolutely ridiculous. A lot of people who have gone to these meetings have actually only gone a few times. Some of these people were so freaked out by what they saw that they never returned. Why is that? Because they weren't deep enough into the program to be desensitized to the environment and the dark things going on. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about, I've talked about before. Nobody gives this group enough credit. The Bilderberg Group, you guys. Over 120 of the most powerful and influential people in the entire world gather at nice hotels. It's not all creepy like Bohemian Grove. There's no giant owl statues, no pagan robes. It's just a bunch of businessmen and leaders and executives and foreign diplomats all showing up to discuss things. Sounds like a freaking typical higher up type people, country club meeting place. It's not. You guys, if this were any other group in the world, okay, if 120 of anything, if 120 actors got together, if 120 sports players got together in a secret group and were discussing things for days and days on end, you'd freaking flip out. You would do everything within your power. The media would do everything within their power to try to figure out what was going on behind these walls. What were they talking about? What was the discussions about? Why did they need days to do it? What's going on? But because these are these influential people who run banking, finance, politics, religion, nobody asks any questions. And when they do, and they get told nothing, they're okay with it. The Bilderberg Group is the next level up, I say, because they're the ones that enact the policies that literally run our world. Everything from oil prices, purposely planned crashes of the economy, to dark humor and things that they allow on television. And you think I'm joking, but it's not a joke. Think about what was allowed on television when you were a kid. If you're my age, nothing on TV now would have been allowed on TV back then. Like 90% of it is smut, garbage, demonistic, ritualistic, just evil. Think about cartoons, for God's sakes, okay? And don't get me wrong, I love a dark, edgy cartoon, okay? I'm a horror movie fan. But the fact of the matter is people don't understand that this is programming. All of these evil things that we're now so accustomed to that we don't really care, okay? Think about how many acts of violence, of extreme violence towards children and babies and everything else that have been allowed on television, in movies, that never would have been allowed on TV pre-1985. Hell, pre-1988. None of this would have been allowed on. But people like the FCC and all these other places, they all go to these Bilderberg meetings. They all get told what to do, how to do it, what their plans are. This is the way the Bilderberg meetings happen, you guys. Just in case you're not up to speed on exactly what the Bilderbergs do. So they go to these retreat places. They're located different spots all over the world constantly. And they meet up and they break off into groups of roughly 20 people. They're assigned a topic. We are not allowed to know what these topics are. But from rumors, they've been everything from whether or not we should go to war, whether or not we should crash certain markets, and whether or not we should allow certain laws to be changed. It includes a lot of details from a lot of different countries and a lot of major moves as far as what's allowed in polite society. And they discuss the pros and cons, each group, of their particular topic. Then they switch with another group and discuss a different topic. And they do this until all the topics are run through each group. Then they have a large consensus meeting of what decisions they've come to. What are the outcomes of each of these conversations that have to do with the things that they are trying to change or trying to enact? These clubs, they're not happy people. Yes, the 300 Club is one of them. I just saw that in chat. Absolutely is. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to get into all of them, you guys. There are literally dozens and dozens of these groups, and they all work together. That's what I'm telling you. They're all working together for the express, like their design is to corrupt society. Their design, if you believe it from a religious standpoint, is to bring about the damnation of the majority of the population through simply, it's real simple, you guys. They desensitize you to this stuff. And then most people go, oh, well, it's everywhere, so it's okay. No, it's not. I mean, look at the things that happen in our world right now that wouldn't have dared happen 30, 40 years ago. I mean, it's not just TV, it's news, it's politics, it's the way we fight our wars, it's everything, you guys. You got people now talking about how, well, Epstein Island was where they were eating children and drinking blood. You guys, the adrenochrome conspiracy is not the only conspiracy about these people drinking and bathing in blood. They've been doing it for over 100, 200 years, probably longer than that. We're talking about people who, on the just the flat face of it, the way it looks, we're talking about people who are evil at their core. And their job is to spread the evil, just like demons' jobs are to corrupt humankind. Think of that as a similar way to do this, only they're using humans. These are dark people spreading a dark objective, and they're getting it done. It's not a maybe, they're getting it done. It's working. Like I said, if you're my age and you know about this stuff, you guys, at my age and you know about this stuff, you've been alive long enough to know what I'm telling you is true. You can look back to the early 90s, the late 80s, this stuff, and go, holy crap, what disturbing fucking psychosis did our country and world go through that we allow this stuff to go on? It's simple. We've been desensitized through it over freaking the last 100 years. Slowly and surely. This is not a quick into the game. They're just trying to run their plan until it takes hold. They've planned for the long game. They've planned for the end game. They know that through complacency, they're going to get many, many people who are going to obey this, okay? And it works. They're leading people down to hell with a leash around their neck, and they're being thanked for it. Oh, thank you for turning me into an absolute creep and dirtbag. I appreciate you. And they end up going to hell. Or in some cases, stuck in the veil. Now, whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in God or not, okay, I am not judging anyone for their belief systems. But even if you are a completely non-religious person, you still have human morality. You still have a conscience. You know in your heart at birth right from wrong. If you don't know it's wrong to hurt people, you have something wrong with you, like inside. These groups are all coming together and they all play a part. The Bilderberg's part, like I said, is the next step up. This is where it comes into bringing their darkness strictly to society through terms of war, media, things of this nature, politics. You guys, why do you think we're so divided in America right now? Why do you think it is? It wasn't Clinton, Trump. It wasn't Biden and Trump. Okay? It's all by design. They don't care whose party you go for. They just want you fighting. They want you at your neighbor's throat because he voted for someone I don't like. That guy's a Nazi. Or this person voted for someone I don't like. They're just a baby killing blah, blah, blah. They want us fighting because in the end, that's the goal. It's chaos. It's sinful in the simplest of terms. Okay? These people are practicing things that would make the average population of people puke. Okay? Killing babies, drinking blood, all of that is real. And I'm not saying every one of these secret societies partakes in that, but a large portion of them end up in groups that do. This is why the blowing the lid off of the Hollywood elite and blowing the lid off of the people who went to places like Epstein Island, all of this stuff, you guys, it all stems from these. It starts with these small secret societies and builds their way up to things like the Illuminati or the 300. Okay? The Illuminati, everyone's like, oh, well, that's just a conspiracy theory. The Illuminati was broken up way back in the day in the 1790s. I think it was the 1790s. Yeah, 1790s. Turning them into a scapegoat for things like the French Revolution and all these other things. No, dude, they weren't destroyed. The Illuminati is very real. It is very active. And if you don't believe me, there are actually Hollywood elites who admit to being part of it. Ask Oliver Stone's son, Sean Stone, Oliver Stone's son. He's openly in contact with people from the Illuminati, and he's admitted it not only on live television in multiple interviews, but also on television shows he's appeared on. He is in contact with members of the Illuminati, and so is his family. Now, he claims to not be a part of the Illuminati, but that they are trying to recruit his family members and have been for a long time. I can't attest to that. I don't know for sure whether he's a part of it or not, you guys. But the thing is the animal sacrifices, the fake human sacrifices of burning people in effigy and all this other crud, this is all dark ritualistic stuff, guys. Okay, and it's become so commonplace that we throw parties and do stuff like this and think it's fun and games. Look at Burning Man. Does everyone who goes to Burning Man, are they all evil? No. You guys, I mean, easily a third of them are just a bunch of artistic hippies who want to go out, do drugs, drink, meet people, and hang out and just free love, free, you know, they're not evil people, but they're being led down a path. Okay? The big day, the big burning of the statue of Burning Man, okay? What do you think that is? It's symbolic, okay? It is a symbol. Just like the burning of other effigies throughout these secret societies' histories, okay? They've all done it, okay? It all leads back to the same place, and it all leads down these dark roads. One road might be darker than the other, but they're giving you, like, they give you a choice. They're like, okay, well, are you going to be good or are you going to be bad? But what they don't tell you is they're not telling you the good choice. They're telling you a little bit lesser evil choice and then an evil choice. You have a third option. Humans are built with an internal compass, you guys, whatever you want to call it, a soul, a conscience, whatever. We are built to know the difference between right and wrong. We are built to know when something doesn't feel acceptable on an internal clock, an internal meter that we have. Okay, you ever seen someone doing something so cringeworthy, something that was so wrong, hitting a woman, doing anything like this, that your insides just went, that is wrong? That's what I'm talking about. That feeling right there is what I'm talking about. And this is a basic of human and the human experience. This is the basic of our existence. We know right, we know wrong, but now they're blurring the lines, okay? They're making these things so popularized and in your face on everyday TV, movies, social media, news broadcasts, news stories, books, that it's become part of everyday life and just an acceptable, oh, wow, that's what they're doing? Okay. It's not acceptable. These people are leading you down a path that can literally lead to the end of your life. And I mean that spiritually and actually physically, okay? These groups have been known to kill people. They've been known to take people out and silence them. And it doesn't stop there. Like I've told you, think about the Epstein files real quick, okay? As much as I hate to put any thought towards that creepy pedo weirdo, I want you guys to think about this for a minute. How many elite people do we now know for a fact visited that man's island after he was convicted of crimes against underage minors? Okay, a lot. We know for a fact that a lot of them still went to this man's island. That alone is at the very least being complicit in his crimes. But then you have all the weird talk about the food that wasn't, I don't care what people say. You look it up on Wiki and all these things, man, and they're like the debunked theory that they were talking about cannibalism or eating blood or babies or any of this other stuff with the word pizza or hot dog or all the weird food messages they send. Look it up now. They all say online, oh yeah, no, it was completely normal conversations. They were just taken out of context. No, they weren't. These people are eating children. No joke. They're eating people. They are drinking blood. Some of them bathe in blood. Some of them just do blood rituals. But it's all going down the same dark road. It's like, well, which slide to hell do you want to go on? The fast one or the really slow one? They don't tell you there's a third option where you don't go to hell. But the problem is, you guys, is we've become so lax as a society that we think it's okay. I mean, yes, we have some people who are still standing up, thankfully, and demanding more knowledge about the Epstein files, which, by the way, you're never going to get. You just won't. It'll crash too many major people in too many major rings of circles that are controlling shit who are involved with this. You're never going to get the whole story, and you're definitely never getting the true story. And the true story is this man had to do with child trafficking, human trafficking, satanic rituals, cannibalism, hedonism. I mean, you name the ism, he had it, okay? It was ridiculous. And the people who visited his island, I don't believe you for a dang second that you weren't involved in one or another part of these corrupt practices, because that's what these types of groups, organizations, and people do. They bring others in. They go, oh yeah, let me introduce you to this. We're going to have a good time. And they slowly seduce you with the dark side, okay? I hate to go, full on Star Wars with you, but that's what it is, okay? You start with a little bit of darkness and they ease you into it. Oh, it's okay. No, it's good. You're fine. Everyone here is drinking to excess. See, look. Then it's everyone screwing around on their husbands and wives. Look. Then it's everybody's doing it. Look. And it all leads down the same dark path. And nobody seems to see that we're all just being complacent about it. Or at least the vast majority of us. Remember how big the Epstein uproar was? A month and a half, 2 months, 3 months ago? Where's it now? Because we all know the truth. Whether we want to admit it or not, we're not getting anything. And things like this have become the new norm in our society. Plain and simple, done. Number one, I don't care if it's left wing, right wing. I see people in the chat bringing up Trump. Fine. I don't care, you guys. Because I hate to tell you, Democrats and Republicans both do it. So do independents. It's not. See, this is what I'm talking about. They brainwash us, man. Oh, it's my side versus your side. No, they're both their side, you freaking people. There is no our side. Us, the good people, we are our side. That's why good people tend to congregate with other good people, which is why I like to think that a lot of you who I've talked to and gotten to know from my brother's channel, that's why you guys go there. My brother's a good person. Good people attract good people. Dark people try to bring good people to the dark side or bring more bad people to the dark side so that they can get to their end game. Okay, but people like us need to breed better people. We need to bring other good people into the light and show them what the hell is going on. Because the sad fact is good people are getting dragged down every day by this type of stuff and the world that we have let be created for us. This is not the world that was meant for us. This is the world that has been pulled over your eyes and told to you that this is just the way things are. It's not. This is the way things are because we allowed it to come this far. We have allowed ourselves to be corrupted on the most basic of levels. And I'll say it, man, it works on some degree on everybody, okay? It does. It just does. I'm a horror movie person, man. I love gore and violence on film. That's not necessarily a great thing to admit. I like it. I don't like it because I want to go do it to somebody. I like it because I like to be freaked out and creeped out. I think it's fun. It's the same reason I'm into supernatural and paranormal investigations. But one way or another, these same people have managed to corrupt every aspect of our life, okay? Social media, movies, actual journalism. They're turning neighbors against neighbors all over the world, okay? America's not any different with our, Democrats versus Republicans, okay? Then they try the racial thing. Oh, you're black, you have to be mad at the white people. Oh, you're brown, you have to be mad at the black people. Oh, you're this color, you have to be mad. No. We are all humans. I don't care what color you are, white, black, brown, purple, orange, or blue, okay? If you're a human being, it should be in your soul, your very spirit, to want to help your fellow man, okay? Not hurt them. I don't want to hurt anybody. Well, I'm not going to say that. I don't mind hurting pedophiles and creepy people. But for the vast majority of the people on this planet, I don't wish anybody ill will, okay? I want to live my life and enjoy my life. Most people are the same way, but they're being pulled into these directions of sin. They're being pulled in the direction of evil. Now, like I said, whether you're religious or not, fine, don't think of it as sin. Think of it as evil. You don't have to be religious to believe in good and evil, okay? There's good, there's evil. Everyone goes, well, there's a gray area. No, there's not. The gray area means you're getting pulled to evil. You don't start out at birth in the gray area, okay? That's not the way it works. We start out as a good, kind people. And yes, there are always going to be an exception to the rule, someone with something broken inside who does start off evil. I'm not talking about them. I am talking about people in general. And people in general, you guys, we're not evil. But we can be led astray really easily without noticing it because these people have been doing it for hundreds of years, if not thousands. They've gotten exceedingly good at dragging our butts right down that little path to hell. And we all accept it and smile. Okay. How many people of you have ever been watching the news, regardless of whatever country you're from, and you hear something like, 300 people today were killed in a tragic accident. And you're going, oh my God, where? And then they're like, in Bolivia. And you're like, oh, screw Bolivia. because you thought it was somewhere near your house. That's an evil thought, dude. You should be just as, oh man, holy crap, I hope they're okay, as you were. But you're not. Why? Because mainstream media says if it's not happening near you, it's not really happening. And most people buy it. They go, if it's not happening to me or anyone that's directly affecting me, well, I don't care. You should. You're allowed to care. Just because they're far away or in another country doesn't mean you shouldn't care. That once again, these are acceptable things now that weren't acceptable even like 100 and something years ago, you guys. I mean, think about it if we had that freaking way of thinking during the freaking Nazis. Oh, well, yeah, they're baking people in ovens and concentration camps, but it's not here in America. Who cares? That's unheard of. Nobody thinks like that. Or at least they didn't used to. But these secret societies, you guys, they all have their roles in perverting and corrupting society using elite members who have control of certain domains or will have control of certain domains. Presidents, heads of state, heads of media. People of this ilk are the ones they're going after because they're the ones that have the most reach to the normal everyday population, you guys. And now it's getting even worse. You guys, I'm not naming names. I refuse to do that. But I am 100% certain that they are now going after certain YouTubers too. Because why? Their platforms reach millions. Their platform reaches millions. And in the day and age of social media, what's the easiest way to get more following? To get people to do what you want them to do? Okay? There are people on here who literally will just go ahead and watch some really sick, twisted, evil stuff and act like it doesn't affect them. You guys, everything affects your spirit. Everything affects your energy. Whatever you want to call it, your soul. I don't care what you call it. But all of these dark decisions that people make going through their lives, you're being pulled in different directions. And I hate to say it, but the bad stuff pulls you 10 times more easily, 100 times more than the good stuff does. Why? Because it's being promoted more. It's being promoted by everything and everyone in every type of powerful position. I'm talking, like I said, heads of state, heads of media, banking, all of it. It all goes together. And their goal, their ultimate goal, I honestly believe this, is the destruction of the innocent human. They don't want us to have a choice whether we're good or bad. They want us to think if it feels good, do it. Oh, you want to kill that guy because he did something that pisses you off? Well, then shit. If you're willing to serve the time, do it. You want to do this, that, or the other horrible thing? Yeah, if it feels good, do it. No. Inside you know this. But the problem is like I said, they're desensitizing it to you. They're making it to where you don't know the difference. And if you know the difference, it's a harder line to draw. Okay? It's like, think about it this way, you guys. Think about it this way. Back when I was a kid, this is the excuse, or not the excuse, the example I'm going to go with, and I want to kind of give it to you guys so that you can understand where I'm coming from. I remember when Married with Children came out, okay? By today's standards, not even close to the most edgy show. Back then, it was a complete, what the hell? Okay? Before Married with Children, look at the family sitcoms. You had Growing Pains, okay? You had Family Matters. You had Step by Step. You had all these wholesome, Charles in Charge. You had all these family shows that were nothing but families nice and polite towards each other and loving. The Brady Bunch. Okay, and then you have Married with Children, where Al's cracking jokes on his wife, his neighbor, his own kids. They're constantly at each other's throats. They're constantly backstabbing each other. And people ate it up. They ate it up 1,000 times more than all the other family sitcoms before. Why do you think that the Married with Children show is basically the format for all the shows that are those type of family shows that we watch now, okay? because the edginess went away. We got used to it. It wasn't cringeworthy. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? Thanks you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Love it, guys. I appreciate all the thumbs up, all the subscribes. Keep it up. But this is what I'm talking about, okay? They desensitize you enough to go, oh, well, it's just entertainment, or, well, it's just a joke, or, well, it's just... But what you don't realize is, man, it's a slippery slope. It is a slippery slope to the dark side. And each one of these groups have a specific task in mind to help lead you down that path. And secret societies are the worst offenders because, like I said, people don't even care anymore. They know about Skull and Bones. They know about the Bilderbergs. They know about Bohemian Grove. They know about the 300. They know about the Quill and Dagger at Cornell University or the Seven Society at the University of Virginia. They know about all these things. The Flat Hat Club. They just don't care anymore, you guys, because we've been desensitized to it. Oh, it's just a goofy club at school. No. These people have a goal, and it's working. It is working very well. Think about the amount. I'll give you another example. Kids in the 80s and 90s, you guys, early 90s especially, we were allowed to go out all day until the street lights came on. Hell, a lot of us were locked out of the house during the day. Your parents were like, go outside and play and lock the doors. Would you do that nowadays with your kids? Now, most parents would go, hell no. Well, why? It's only been like 30, 40 years difference in time. Why wouldn't you do it? Because inside we all know that the world has gotten a hell of a lot darker, a hell of a lot more dangerous, and quite frankly, the amount of creepy, just evil individuals in this world has easily multiplied 100-fold. Okay, it's not, oh, we're seeing them more now because we're more connected with all our video cameras and stuff. Bull. It's that they're getting more frequent. They're becoming a more regular thing. How many news stories you see nowadays about guys in their freaking basement having 20 children that they just got rescued in some FBI raid, or some pedophile ring that just got busted on the East Coast, or Epstein Island, or any number of this crap. They still had newspapers, man. They still had national news coverage back in the 80s and 90s. You can't tell me that these stories weren't on the news back then. They were just a lot less frequent because these people weren't doing it as much. There weren't that many of these people. They've gotten us now to the point where people are falling down a slippery slope of, I don't give a hell, I'm going to do it because it feels good. Murderers, rapists, child molesters, they're all not afraid anymore. You got freaking child diddlers hanging out on video games like Roblox, which is being sued for this. And you still have parents letting their kids play these games. Oh, well, it's fine. Dude, I banned that game from my house as soon as I heard about that. My son was one of those people. He loves Minecraft. He loves all these other games. And yes, there are creepy people on every video game. I'm not saying throw every video game out the window, you guys. But Roblox had a huge ring of pedophiles on it. Of groomers for young children. I got neighbors who just recently let their kids download that game. After I've talked to them and explained to them, I was like, hey man, you have kids, just letting you know, don't let them play this game. They're like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then I hear my son going, yeah, I don't want to go over to their house anymore because their kids are playing that creepy game you told me not to play. People don't care, man. People have lost touch with basic goodness, man. Like, this is why I tell you, man, whenever the world ends, you guys, my brother and me both talk about the world ending a lot, okay? And although we have different, varying opinions on how it's going to happen, I want to be brutally honest with you guys. When the world ends, you're not going to be able to trust a lot of who's left. Okay? When the world ends and people show you who they really are and they drop all the fakeness from society where they were just trying to maintain a good image, you're going to see how much evil outnumbers good. And people like me and my brother and good people, we're going to have to band together. We're going to have to seriously keep an eye out for each other and be able to judge each other on whether or not we can trust you. Because the sad truth is you're not going to be able to trust a lot of people when the world goes to hell. Because they're all going to be in it for themselves. Gimme, 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 gimme. What can I take from that person? What can I get from this person? How can I use these people? And like me and my wife, man, for instance, when we first watched The Walking Dead, okay, there's a scene on one of the first, I don't know, I'd say like first 3 seasons. I want to say it's probably closer to the 3rd because I think they were at the prison by then, and I'm not trying to spoiler alert anything. But there's a scene where a few of them are in the car and they're driving down the road, and there's this guy with a backpack on the side of the road walking. And I believe it was the wife in the car that tells Rick, oh, stop, that guy needs help. And they just kind of keep driving past him like, hell no. It could have been Michonne too, I might be mistaken. But yeah, you don't pull over for people like that in the apocalypse for a reason, because you can't know who you can trust. People's trust is going to have to be seriously earned under a watchful eye if you want to bring them into your fold when the world starts to go to hell. I don't plan on letting a whole lot of people into my group, and if I do, you are going to be under constant guard for a long time until I know that you can be trusted. Because the simple fact of the matter is we are now breeding, I almost want to say demonic people, but that's not the right word. But we are breeding a class of people who only care about self-gain, self-worth, what they can get from somebody else, what they can achieve through meeting other people. It's all about them. It's a me syndrome. Okay? So watch out for this stuff, you guys. I'm not saying don't enjoy your favorite violent TV show, okay? But be aware that the programming's there. Be aware that the programming is all around you for this stuff, okay? And especially, why do you think I don't get involved in politics, you guys? Politics is one of the biggest people of this. Politicians are great, both sides of the aisle, at turning each other's parties against each other. Well, why? Most of them are run by the same people anyways, let's be honest. Behind the scenes, our presidents and emperors and kings and all these other people, they're not running the show. Okay, all these politicians, they don't run jack. They're the public figure for the companies and the people and the corporations who actually run this world. So why kill each other over what party you support? It's stupid. I mean, to be honest, I think you should be banned altogether. I don't think you should be able to talk about what party you're affiliated to. You shouldn't be allowed to be affiliated to a party. You should just be a person. You should be judged on what you say, what your merits are, period, point blank. If you get rid of the names, Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party, Libertarian Party, blah, 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 blah. If you get rid of the names, they're all just people. Yes, they have their viewpoints on things, and let them state their viewpoints and be judged on those strictly only. But this whole political party crap, this was designed to make one side hate the other side, for one side to fight the other side, to create and sow division amongst the people. And it worked. It worked like gangbusters. Half our country right now hates the other half of our country. And if they don't hate them, they sure as hell don't like them. I mean, we all saw it, man, when the whole Republican versus Democrat thing took a huge turn, 10 years ago it's now been? I mean, Republicans and Democrats have always faced off, and it's gotten worse over the years, yes. But when Trump entered the race, man, it began a whole new level of hate from both sides. And you can't just blame Trump's side because, yeah, Republicans were doing it. But Democrats were doing it too. What's their excuse? Oh, we're just returning the hate. That's what they want, you idiot. Stop returning the hate. We've got to get back to a basic level of humans are humans, and we should all be watching each other's back because we are part of mankind. Humanity. You're not a different species because you're a Democrat or a Republican or a Libertarian. You're not a different species because you want to watch a violent movie or you want to do this or that. You don't have to let these things corrupt you. That's why I stay out of politics altogether, okay? But even if you go beyond politics, like I said, the violence in cinema and video games and all this other stuff, you can still enjoy a good game and a good violent movie. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm saying be aware that they are desensitizing you to this stuff. Just like the whole UFO thing, man. People told me I was full of it for years. I've been saying it since I was a child. Look what they're doing with the movies and UFOs and stuff. All they're doing is desensitizing people to these topics. Gee, I wonder why. Because eventually they knew the real truth was going to come out, that this crap was real, and people were going to freak. So they desensitized you to it. Now, what happened? We had hearings in Congress about UFOs. Nobody cared because they were all desensitized. They're like, yeah, whatever, just show us the bodies already. It's the same way with good and evil, you guys. Like I said, slippery slope. So whether it's the Skull and Bones Club, whether it's the Hellfire Club, or whether it's the Illuminati, you got to realize all these groups are working towards the same end, which is the destruction of right and wrong. They want the line erased. Are you going to let them do it? All of us have a choice. All of us raise the next generation. Be a mentor. Be a friend to people. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, man. I'll be friends with any of you. I don't care if you voted Trump. I don't care if you voted Hillary. I'll still be your friend. I judge you on whether or not you were a good person. Not who you voted for, not the color of your skin, not what country you originate from. These are all political divides that need to go away. So from my family to yours, be safe, love each other. We love all of you, and I appreciate every single one of you for showing up today. Much love from Straight Jacket White Rabbit, signing off.